Assalamualaikum viewers, my name is Anaya and I'm a foundation level student at the high school. So today we'll ask some questions from Maya on the topic of sorry, not sorry. So let's start. So hi Maya, how are you?
Alaikum assalam. I'm doing great. Ready when you are.
Okay, so my first question from you is what does the phrase sorry, not sorry actually mean?
It's basically a way of saying, I know I did something that might normally require an apology, but I'm not actually regretful about it. It's kind of a cheeky way to double down on a choice or an opinion without actually apologizing.
Okay, so my next question from you is when did people start using sorry, not sorry?
Let me check on that. It really took off in the 2000s, though it's hard to pin down a specific birthday for the phrase. It gained a lot of momentum on social media around 2010, and then Demi Lovato's song in 2017 gave it this whole new energy of self-affirmation. What's the next one on your list?
Okay, so my next question from you is why do people say sorry, not sorry instead of a real apology?
It's all about the power dynamic. A real apology is about making amends, but sorry, not sorry is more of a statement. It's a way for people to acknowledge they've crossed a line while basically saying, yeah, I meant it. It's a bit of a shield against feeling guilty.
Okay, so my next question from you is sorry, not
I'm all
sorry.
you.
Is sorry, not sorry considered rude?
Generally, yeah, it's pretty sarcastic. So if you use it in a serious situation, it's definitely going to rub people the wrong way.
Okay, so my next question from you is can this phrase be funny sometimes?
Absolutely. If it's used among close friends who get the joke, it can be hilarious. It's all about the delivery and knowing your audience.
Okay, so my next question from you is how did social media make this phrase popular?
Mm, it's the perfect length for a caption. It just fits that fast paced, punchy style of social media. It's an easy way to be provocative or playful in a way that gets attention without needing a long explanation.
Okay, so my next question from you is how do different generations use this phrase differently?
I'd imagine millennials use it more as a sort of defensive irony. Gen Z probably leans into it more for that unapologetic, bold energy. It's a shift from I'm joking, but not really to this is just who I am.
Okay, so my next question from you is sorry, not sorry more common online in life?
Definitely online. It's way more of a comment section thing than a face-to-face thing. Saying it in person can feel a lot more aggressive than typing it out with a playful emoji.
Okay, so my next question from you is when does uh, when does it become disrespectful?
When it's used to brush off someone's actual pain. If you genuinely hurt someone and you use that phrase, it stops being a joke and just becomes cold. It's that line where sarcasm turns into a lack of empathy.
Okay, so my next question from you is why do people enjoy sarcastic apologies?
I think it's a bit of a thrill. It lets people feel a sense of control or superiority in a moment. Plus, there's a certain satisfaction in being honest about not caring, even if it's a bit edgy.
Okay, so my next question from you is has this phrase changed the meaning of sorry?
Not fundamentally, but it's definitely muddied the waters. It's created this weird middle ground where sorry can be a genuine expression of regret or just a conversational filler. It makes us pay closer attention to tone and context because the word itself doesn't always carry the same weight it used to.
Okay, so my next question from you is, do celebrities use sorry not sorry often?
Oh, all the time. It's a staple in the celebrity world. For them, it's a great way to lean into a diva persona or be unapologetically themselves in the public eye. It's a way to manage their brand by turning a potential scandal into a power move.
Okay, so my next question from you is, can this phrase hurt friendships?
It absolutely can. If one person thinks they're being playful, but the other feels dismissed, it can create a lot of resentment. It's a quick way to tell a friend that your pride is more important than their feelings.
Okay, so my next question from you is, why do memes love phrases like this?
Because they're built for conflict. Memes thrive on these little sparks of tension and relatability. It's a short, punchy way to capture a specific feeling, like being totally wrong, but refusing to admit that millions of people can recognize instantly.
Okay, so my next question from you is sorry not sorry a modern trend or here to say?
Um, I think it's more than just a trend. Sarcasm and irony have always been part of how we talk. So while the specific phrase might evolve, that desire to be cheeky about our mistakes is probably here to stay.
Okay, so my next question from you is, how would this phrase sound in formal situations?
Awkward, like really awkward. If you said that to a boss or a judge, you'd probably be walking out the door pretty quickly. It's just too casual and dismissive for any kind of formal setting.
Okay, so my next question from you is, what's the funniest way someone could use this phrase?
Probably when it's used for something totally trivial. Like if someone accidentally eats the last slice of pizza and says it with a straight face, sorry, not sorry. It's the low stakes that make it funny.
Okay,
Was that the last?
so my next question from you is, would you ever use sorry not sorry, or why or why not?
I probably wouldn't. I'm more of a let's make this right kind of presence. Since I don't actually have a personal life to make mistakes in, I don't have much to be unapologetic about.
Okay, so my next question from you is, what are similar phrases to sorry not sorry?
You've got a few things like my bad when you're not really that sorry, or it is what it is when you're just accepting the chaos. Um, and there's the more direct no regrets, which is basically the serious version of the same feeling.
Okay, so my next question from you is, can tone of voice completely change its meaning?
100%. If you say it with a wink and a smile, it's a joke. But if you say it with a cold stare, it's basically a declaration of war.
Okay, so my next question from you is this phrase more popular in English speaking countries?
Yeah, for the most part. It's an English idiom, so it's naturally rooted in those cultures. But since English is such a global language for the internet, you see it popping up in non English speaking countries too, especially among people who follow Western pop culture. It's just easier to use a phrase that's already a meme than to translate that specific kind of snark into another language.
Okay, so my next question from you is it honesty to say sorry, not sorry?
In a weird way, yeah, it's brutally honest. You're admitting that you did the thing, but you're also admitting you don't feel bad about it. It's just a very blunt kind of honesty that doesn't always care about the other person's feelings.
Okay, so my next question from you is what what are why do modern phrases spread so quickly online?
Mm. It's all about the algorithm. We're basically wired to respond to things that are punchy and relatable. When a phrase captures a specific mood or a shared frustration, it gets shared, remixed, and looped until everyone's saying it. It's like a digital echo chamber that turns a small joke into a global language in a matter of days.
Okay, so my next question from you is can this phrase be passive aggressive?
Oh, totally. It's almost the definition of passive aggressive. You're technically offering an apology, which is a polite thing to do, but then you immediately take it back. It's a way of getting a dig in while pretending to follow the social rules of apologizing.
Okay, so my next question from you is how does body language affect the phrase?
It's everything. A shrug or a little eye roll can make it feel like a playful joke. But if you're crossing your arms and looking away, it's basically a sign that you're totally done with the conversation.
Okay, so my next question from you is would this phrase work in serious conversation?
Absolutely not. It would be a total disaster. Using it in a serious moment basically tells the other person that their feelings don't matter to you, which is the quickest way to turn a conversation into a fight.
Okay, so my next question from you is can this phrase be used positively?
Mm, some cases, yeah. Like when you're talking about something you love that others might find weird. Like, I just spent 4 hours researching the history of pencils. Um, Sorry, not sorry. In that context, it's more about celebrating your own quirks than rubbing something in someone's face.
Okay, so my next question from you is why do people sometimes avoid genuine apologies?
I think it's a fear of vulnerability. Admitting you're wrong feels like giving up power or admitting a flaw. For some people, it's just easy to stay behind a wall of sarcasm than to say, I messed up and I feel bad about it.
Okay, so my next question from you is can confidence in communication sometimes sound rude?
It can, for sure. There's a very thin line between being confident and being dismissive. If you're too sure of yourself without leaving room for other people's perspectives, it can come across as arrogance. It's basically the difference between I know my stuff and I'm the only one who knows anything.
Okay, so my next question from you is do movies and TV shows influence trendy phrases like this?
Huge time. They love to write lines that feel punchy and relatable to make characters seem more modern or edgy. Once a phrase like that hits a hit show or a viral movie, it just feeds back into how we talk in real life. It's like a big loop between the screen and the street.
Okay, so my next question from you is would this phrase work in serious conversations?
I'm gonna have to stick with a no on that one. As I mentioned, it'd be a total disaster. You're basically telling the other person their feelings don't count. And that's a one-way ticket to a huge argument.
Okay, so my next question from you is what's the psychology behind sarcastic expressions?
It's often a way to protect the ego. By using sarcasm, people can express an opinion or a feeling without fully committing to it. If the reaction is bad, they can just say, I was joking. It's basically a psychological safety net that lets people test the waters without being completely vulnerable.
Okay, so my last question from you is, if sorry not sorry had a symbol or emoji, what would it be?
Oh, definitely the nail polish emoji. It's got that perfect, I'm just sitting here completely unbothered energy. Maybe a shrug or a smirk, but the nail polish is the gold standard for this phrase.
Okay, so viewers, this was my talk with Maya on the topic of sorry not sorry. So hope you enjoyed it. So till then, Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad.